Okay, I'm recording as of now. Normally I take my little clapper board and clap it and say, we're starting, but here's what I'm experimenting with. Okay, some people can completely learn just by listening. Some need to see what they're listening to. Okay, I'm experimenting where first time ever the video on that camcorder did not work yesterday, and you could hear the audio but you couldn't see the picture. And I thought, okay, well, really, unless I'm pointing to something up on the board here like this, you don't need to see the picture. You can just listen. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the difference between listening and hearing, because there is a big difference. Hearing, you've heard of hearing aids. That is just the sound waves going through the ear and vibrating the eardrum, and then you develop a thought with that and really make something out of it. Okay? So listening and hearing can be two different things. Okay? If a loud car goes by, you can't help but hearing it, but you might not be listening for it. So what I'm going to do today, I go through this, in my classes, I'm going to have kids, when I do the video there, I'm just going to put the audio on, and I'm going to have them put their heads down and just listen. And I'm going to see if they could just focus on just listening and not have any video, just audio. Yesterday I was talking to the kids about the radio stations and what radio station they listen to. And I'm going, you know what? TV, you get both the picture and the sound. It's a lot better advertising on TV than it is on the radio. Okay, that's the advantage of it. We're going to talk about advantages and disadvantages of different types of advertising media. Okay, not so much in here, but in the other classes. But I'm going, okay, TV, you can see the picture and you can hear the sound. Radio, you can only hear it. But radio, you can multitask and just be listening to it while you're driving. You probably shouldn't really be watching a movie while you're driving a car. So I'm not, and this is where the big push with the texting and everything, you know, people are having to look at that as opposed to just hearing it. So listen, I'm going to upload this on YouTube, and that way if a kid's gone today, I'm going to go, this is what you need to hear. If you have something like a question, write it down in your planner and I'll answer it when I'm all done. Okay? Like he just said, oh, we should watch that Nike ad. Then write that down and remind me when we have free time, because I'm king of getting sidetracked. When I video, I can go right down my list and go, this is what I'm going to talk about today. Okay? Write down the list. We'll talk when I'm done about random things. Okay? I always say you don't have to try to sidetrack me. I'll go there myself. I get sidetracked easier, and I find I stay more focused if I'm just recording, because I'm not going to start going off on other stories. So rather than raise your hand and ask a question and get me sidetracked, just write it down. When we're done, I'll go, okay, we'll go there afterwards. So the difference between listening and hearing, you should know that there is a difference between them. In the other classes, I'd like a kid to look it up in the book, and it talks about that in the marketing book. I don't know exactly where, but it has a chapter that talks about the difference between listening and hearing. Let's remember to look that up. That was what I was talking about here with TV versus radio. Okay? Does that make sense? TV, you can see it and hear it, but TV is also very expensive to produce the ads. Okay? Because you have a picture also and you have this and that, where radio is not near as expensive. In fact, when I used to work in advertising, and when I was doing advertising, I could just call in my radio ads, and they'd record it over the radio, over the telephone, and then play it on the radio station. You can't really do that TV ad. There's a lot more production that goes into it. Okay? It's fun in marketing to talk about the different types of advertising and which costs, you know, more, and what the advantages and disadvantages of it. Okay? When I did that flyboard business, my goal was to not spend a penny on advertising. We put a video on YouTube, and we had 2,000 hits in 24 hours. That's more video. That's more hits than I've ever had on a video. We made a website, Snake River Flyboard, on Facebook. We had close to 1,000 likes in 2 days, and so I'm just saying, you know, you have to be creative if you want to do free advertising. Did anyone see the article about the flyboard on the front page of the paper? That's priceless advertising. You can't even buy advertising like that on the whole front page of the paper or a big part of it. I have the article around here somewhere, but I didn't have to pay for that because it's publicity. Okay? And right after that, our phone started ringing and ringing and ringing. I didn't know they were going to put it on the front page of the paper. You know, that was good advertising. And I didn't have to pay for it as an article because people are interested in it. They've seen it and they go, what's this? So we'll talk more about that. Some kids said, would you show me the flyboard video? I will. But if there's something like that you want to see, write it in your planner. And later when I say, hey, is there anything you want to talk about? We can talk about that then. And you can just look at your planner and go, okay, other random stuff that we can talk about. Are you busy? Remember to ask me that. Okay? Remember yesterday I was recording and a kid came in and said, are you busy? And I said, wait a minute. This means wait a minute. Okay? I hold a finger up like this. Wait a minute. Because I'm recording or I'm busy. I don't even have to say anything. He did a good job of just waiting. But then later a teacher came in and said, oh, where you been? This and that. And I said, well, he's been waiting for me. Because he didn't want to interrupt me. You guys remember that? I don't want you to say anything to the teacher. I don't want her to feel bad. But then later she came and apologized. Sorry for interrupting you. And I said, oh, it's all good. I'm the king of interrupting. I interrupt people all the time. And I go, oops, I shouldn't have done that. But we all make mistakes and learn from them. Okay, are you busy? Ask. Remember the red light, green light thing? I'll try to get that going. Big rocks. Okay, the big rocks. I was running late for school today. And I put my little electric trailer on my bike so that I could get here on time and speed up a little bit. How many of you have seen the little electric trailer I have that goes up the hill there? My brother-in-law goes, hey, you're cheating today when I was coming up the hill. And I said, no, I'm just trying to get to school on time. I can't pedal that fast up this hill. Well, I was running late. I'm trying to hurry. And this lady comes up and like stops me and says, hey, where did you get that bike? She said, I haven't been able to ride a bike since I broke my neck because I can't bend my neck on a regular bike to look up, but she said I could ride a bike like that, like my recumbent, where you sit back like this. And I thought, okay, I have a choice here to either help her out, talk to her and discuss it, or to be to school on time. And I chose that, even though I was late. I chose to help her out and explain to it, and even let her, try the bike if she wants to use it sometime. Because I felt she was really excited about finding a bike that she could ride, because she can't put her hands down on a regular bike and lift her neck up. But on the recumbent, you sit back like this with your feet up, and you can do that. Okay? And I did this bike ride from Seattle to Portland. It's about 220 miles. And I was riding a regular bike. My neck was killing me. My wrists were falling asleep. My back was killing me. And I saw a guy on one of these recumbent bikes, and I go, wow, he's still got a smile on his face. I was like, really, really sore, and this guy's like, do, but it is slower. That's why I put the electric trailer on there. Still exercise, but yet speed it up a little bit. Okay, so the big rocks. Sometimes we got to take care of the big rocks in life. Anyone remember the big rock story from last year? Okay, taking care of the big rocks in your life. Sometimes I need to remind myself of that. Sometimes I say these things and I go, you know what? I got to remind myself of the big rocks. I mean, for me, it's God, family, school, da-da-da. And then comes the fun stuff, the wakeboarding, the flyboarding, surfing, jet skiing, the biking, but that's way down here. Okay? So priorities, right? Sometimes my wife reminds me that I have to put mine back in shape. Channel 1. Try to watch that at least on Fridays. Okay? I like watching it. I like kids to be able to multitask and maybe watch that as they're doing drafting or as they're doing their work. And that way, I will try to always have some options for you in here. Okay? Where I go, hey, you can either do this or this. You can either watch Channel 1 or you can be reading your book or doing your homework or doing a drawing or doing computer-aided drafting, because some people have more than 1 hour, and I go, you know what? Your goal for my class is to take it to the next level. Not so much in homeroom, but in the other classes, if you got this much out of it last year, this year, take it up a notch. You know what I mean? Okay? In here, you might go, oh, wow, I got Mr. Carey again. I had him for 9 weeks, a quarter in 7th grade. Now I have a half of a year in 8th grade, and I look at it and go, wow, there's kids that have my wife as a teacher in the high school for 4 full years, start to finish. and they're lucky 'cause she's a really good teacher. Okay, so clothes. I know Carharts bib overalls aren't like school uniform, but I wear these because I end up getting dirty working in the shop. The shirt I wore to school, this is embarrassing, but it splashed coffee all over my shirt. And by the time I got to school and that, I'm looking and going, glad I'm not wearing this for the day. You know, I just wore that because it was comfortable coming to school. But sometimes by the end of the day, I got grease on my pants, I got sawdust, I got oil, so I choose to wear Carharts. Which, by the way, these are the only clothes I own that are built in the USA. If you ever find some clothes that are built in the USA, just look on your tag sometime and see if you own any clothes that are built in the USA. It's crazy, but on almost all my clothes I look, and Carharts are the only ones built in the USA. That's it. But they're also, this is the most expensive clothes. They cost more for built in the USA, but my brother will only wear stuff that's built in the USA. He will not shop at Walmart because, well, that's a whole nother story. But it's non-union, and he's a union guy. He's very strict union, and he won't. What's that? Yeah. Okay, that's it. Also a hat sometimes I wear because my helmet rubs on my head, and it sometimes rubs so much my bike helmet that I get bleeding, so I put a hat on.
Nice day, Mr. Carey.
Every day's a nice day. Rachel, have a great weekend. You can take Monday off, and we will see you later.